Hello, welcome to this video on extra creative Excel features. So I'm going to explain to you how you do hyperlink. I'm sure you've seen me use hyperlink, where I click on a link in Excel, it takes me to another page or it takes me to a website. It's an hyperlink, and I'll show you how you use Excel from the web. Excel is no longer just limited to your PC. You can have this same Excel, exactly what you've seen here, except with some functions, but not so many of the functions deleted. Almost all the functions you have here also from your online. You can access your files same way you work from your Excel software on your PC. You can do so also from using your web browser, and I'll show you how you do that. And also I'll explain some creative uses of find and replace. I've done some really complex analysis using just find and replace. It's a very powerful tool. Then I'll show you how to open two workbooks side by side. Probably you've not noticed that you can't place two Excel workbooks side by side. Let me prove that just now. I'm going to open a file. Let's do this. So let's say I want to place these two files side by side. This with the one I was working on before this. You notice every time I go open the next one, the previous one goes into the background. I can't open them side by side. Like say Internet Explorer. This is Internet Explorer. This is my website. I can decide to take this off. You can see. I can decide to put these two side by side. These are almost like side by side. I can see what is here. But for Excel, you can't. But I'll show you a trick on how to do that. So let's just then I'll show you how you format cells. I'm sure you've seen me do some formatting, and I never really explained how I went about doing those formatting, adding borders, hiding grid lines. In the data visualization assignment, you needed to hide grid lines there. And then color rules. You just don't use any kind of color in your reports. I'll give you some of the color rules. And adding comments, how you add comments, how you also import Excel workbooks to Microsoft Word, where you actually place a workbook, Excel workbook in a Microsoft Word document. So maybe you need to send a report and there's an Excel sheet that, rather than you sending two files, the report and then the Excel sheet, you can decide to put the Excel sheet in the Microsoft Word document reports, and you send both. You send just the Microsoft Word document and the person gets the Word document and the Excel sheet. Then I'll show you how to link Excel charts to Microsoft Word, where you change something in the charts in Excel, the one in Microsoft Word to reflect those changes. And so let's start. First of all, let's start with a hyperlink. So how do you create an hyperlink? I'm going to right click on this to show you that this is an hyperlink, and I'm going to copy this address which I have in here. I'm going to turn this into an hyperlink. So let me do that. To turn any cell into an hyperlink, you go to insert. After clicking on the cell, you go to insert, then up in here you're going to see hyperlink. So I'll click on hyperlink. Then I have numerous options. I can decide to link it to a file on my Excel on my PC. Like I can decide that when I click on it, it should open this file. So this is similar to that. If I click on this, it opens. I'm linking it to a file. If I want to link it to another file, it works. I want to link it to a file on another location in my PC, it will work. If I want to link it to a place in this document, this is the one I've been using in most of my videos, where you see me click on a cell like this and it takes me to another sheet in my workbook. So this is how you do that. If I want to go from here to the chart sheet, I'm going to do that for this importing cell workbook. Then if it's to create a new document, I want it to create a new document and name it, give it a default name. So I can make this hyperlink. If I turn this to an hyperlink, that when I click on it, it's same as saying new. It same as coming to file and creating a new Excel file. So you can do that. And if you want it to be to send an email, you can put my email, mike@yourbz.com, and I can even give it a default subject title, hello Mike. And once I click on it, launches my Outlook, and I get an email, a new message window with Mike at your BZH at the top and hello Mike at the subject, and I begin to type in the body of the message. So, but that is not what I want. I'll go back here. Here I can also specify exactly what I want it to navigate to. In this case, most you usually use this for if you want to navigate to a website page. So I'm going to paste that link I copied. This is the link to Excel Web Access web app. So I'm going to click on OK. So now if I click on this, it's going to open this for me. Let me make it fit into my recording window. Can you see? And this is Excel Web App. You can do close to everything you do on the regular Excel file you have installed, Excel installed on your PC. You can also do almost everything with it that you do there, you can do it here. So I'm going to okay, new blank. Okay, so it's working. Great. So you can see it's more like the Excel. This is Excel 2013, but now I'm accessing it via the Internet Explorer. And the funny thing is, it's linked. I can see my files. These are things I've done for people, and I can open any one of them, continue. I can save. I can do a lot of things. It works. It's been done to make it mirror exactly what you do on the regular Excel application. You can create a table saying I really like revenues, so I'm going to say month revenue. Even the keyboard shortcuts, they work. This is shift space to select entire row, control space to select column, control B to make bold. Works very much like your Microsoft Excel application itself. So anytime you are stuck and you feel you need to make edit on a file, or there's no PC around, or you want to use your friend's PC, you can always continue what you are doing, not on your own PC, but from anywhere as long as you have internet access. Just make sure you save your files on the OneDrive. And if you use Windows 8, by default OneDrive will be there, so you get to see all your files. Okay, so that is how you use the Excel web application. So let's go to the creative use of find and replace. I'm going to come here. Here I have once again a table of revenues. I have for me, for a competitor, for another competitor, for two competitors, and for me. So let's say there's a change. Let's say finally Nigerian breweries have decided to change their names from Nigerian Brewery to Heineken. So, and as you can see, I have many tables to make that change. Rather than me going here to type here and again come here to type Heineken, I can simply select this entire column where Nigerian Breweries entry is. I'll do Control F to find and replace. If you don't want to do Control F, you can come to Home and you do find and replace. I'm used to using the Control F keyboard shortcut. So I'll say find okay. So find NB and change it to Heineken. I'm not sure I know how to spell it. Anyway, you get the idea. So I'll say replace all. So it's done that. But I know there's an error. It has also changed Nigerian NBC, Nigerian Bottling Company, from NBC to Heineken C. How do you overcome this kind of issue, this kind of error? So I'm going to do Ctrl Z, then I'll redo the find and replace, then I'll show you some more extra options. I'll click on options. In this case, I'll say match entire cell contents. So it's only cells that the entire content is NB that is going to change to Heineken. So this time around, I won't face that issue. So I'll say replace all. I've made 3 replacements. So now it's left the NB in NBC alone. So this is a very useful, simple, easy way of using find and replace. I use this a lot in some extra complex reports when I'm trying to find patterns, I'm trying to make corrections, trying to make the reports in a way I can easily analyze, trying to make things or trying to make corrections on formatting or data entry. Maybe some people put in too much empty spaces or misspelling, wrong spellings. I try to fix them using find and replace. So let's see one more very useful way of using the find and replace. Let's say I want to see all the revenue entries for Chevron. So rather than me having to scroll, I'm seeing for Chevron is here. So instead of me having to scroll here and look for Chevron again, I can easily use find to jump from one to the other. So I'm going to hide this option. I don't need that. So I'm going to say find all Chevron. Expand this, so I'll drag this to the side. So I'm going to click on the first one. This is the first one. So I'm seeing Chevron for your BZ. So these are revenues from Chevron that your BZ has made in this month. So let's see for competitor 1. You can see I have for competitor 1 without having to scroll and manually matching the terms, the entries in here. I'll go to competitor 3, and that is it. So I can easily jump between entries using find all. And so this is a very simple way. You can go more creative than this. I also use find and replace to edit formulas. So let me give you an example. So I want to do a formula that does sum. I'm going to do sum of everything in here. I'll drag this down. Then what if I copy? I do the same for this, for this. So let's say I'm no longer interested in finding the total from January to June. I'm only interested in finding the total from January to May, right? So how do I do that? Instead of me having to delete what is in here, I can simply change the formula in here. So, if I want to change the formula in here, how I'll do that is I'll say, I'll do F2. F2 makes me get into the formula. Let me do it again. If you selected a cell and you press F2, you'll be able to access the formula in the cell. So now I'll just change G to F. So you can see that way I'm able to just calculate from January to May. I'll do enter. That is it. But now I'll have to drag this formula, drag it down for this, then copy again, start pasting for the remaining the remaining tables, which I don't want to do. So how do I do this for everything? Let me undo the changes I've made. I know that what I need to do is simply change G to F for each of all these cells in the formula in each of all the cells. And to do that, I can use find and replace. So I'm going to say find and replace. Find, to make sure to guard against errors, I'm going to say find column G and replace it with column F. If I click on options, I'll unselect the match cell entire cell entries which I've selected before. I need to make sure look in formulas is there, is enabled. So this is what I really need. The formula is going to have to define, we need to look inside the formulas. So once I've done, I'll say replace all, and let's see if it worked. You can see it has changed. If I do F2, you can see instead of B3 to GF3 as before, it's changed it to F3. And not only for this cell, it has done for all the cells, even these. So this is a very creative use of find and replace, and that is it for find and replace. I will delete this. Let's go back. Okay, so how do you open two workbooks side by side? To open two workbooks side by side, like I have one open already, I want to open the second workbook. I'm not going to open it from here. So this is where we make most of the mistake. We try to open it from the current window where we have the one of the workbooks already opened. Nope, don't do that. You minimize. I'll minimize everything. I'll look for Excel. Then I'll launch the Microsoft Excel 2010, a fresh instance from my desktop. Great. So now the file I want to open, I'll open it in here. So let's say I want to open this data visualization file. So I want to place them side by side. So I'm going to shrink these. Then I'll go to the other one, extract creative views. Then I'll shrink it. And so this is how you open two workbooks side by side. You make sure that you open them from two different instances. You don't come here to open the second workbook. You use your another instance, by opening again from here. So that is it. Let's go back. Then adding comments. How do you add comments in Excel? Let's say I need to add a comment in here. Let's say I need to add a comment on why the revenue here went up from 2 million, 1 million, 1 million to 4 million. So I'll go to review, new comments, and then I'll say we won a big project from Guinness. So that was why the revenue went up. So whoever gets these reports can place his mouse on top of this and gets to see what happened that month that made the revenue go that high. So we won a big project from Guinness. Maybe it's a big contract. Let's say I want to edit it. So how do you edit a comment? Let me do that again. So you want to edit a comment, you click on the cell where the comment is and you click on edit. So I'm going to change this from a big project to a big contract. We want a big contract from Guinness. And that is how you put a comment, you edit a comment. So look, if you want to delete the comment, it's simple, you delete. So that's how you work with comments in Excel. So how do you import an Excel workbook to Microsoft Word? I'm going to open a Microsoft Word file. Okay, this is a Microsoft Word file. So let's say I need to put in one of the, I'm making a report on something. the following Excel sheets as the analysis data. So I need to specify that sheet. I need to import that sheet into this Microsoft Word document. So how do I do that? I need to insert the sheet. So I'll click on insert, click on objects, then from a file, because I already have the sheet in my system, my computer, in my PC, and go to documents. I'll go to where the sheet is. So let's say I need to import these sheets. So to make it look finer, I like displaying my sheet as icon. So I like, displays this way, it makes more sense. Then that is it. And if you want, you can resize it, you can make it look bigger. So whoever get this report, whoever get this document, if he clicks on this, he sees these other sheets in it. So you more like opening Excel in Word. You can delete these, you can go back to the Word document. So what if I want to insert a chart? Let's say it's a chart I want to insert. Okay, I want to insert a chart in the Microsoft Word, and I want the chart to link to the Word document. So whenever I make changes in the chart in Excel, the Word document reflects those changes. So I'm going to do a chart of revenue, of state, of Imo State. So I'll go to insert 3D. Okay, then this, choose a design of this color, then I'll format the walls as gray, format for the floor also as gray. Okay, then I'll just increase the size a little. Then I'll copy this and go paste in the Word document. When I paste these, I'll get this control tooltip below, so I can make some extra changes. So I'll decide to use keep source formatting and link data. By default, it gives me use destination theme and link data. I would like to keep source formatting and link data. So that is done. Now this is where the magic comes in. So let's make a change in here. So let's change the March revenue from 2 million to 4 million. Now let's go see our Word documents. You can see it has gone to 4 million. January is about 3 million, so let's change it to 2 million. January, this is January. Let's change it to 1 million. I'm going to go to the Word document. You can see the changes. April is more than March. Let's make it reverse. Let's make March more than April. March. I'm going to make March more than April. So where is April? I'm going to change April to 2.9 million billion. So let's go see. Now you can see March is more than April. So whatever I'm changing in here, it's getting reflected in here. And that is how you make a dynamic, that's how you link a chart in Word to Excel. And that is it for this video. Thanks for watching.